What's up, guys? Name is Dre, and welcome to another 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross video. Today, I want to introduce a new format which is called the Unit Breakdown. In the Unit Breakdown, I will talk about the newest releases of the game every week. So, because every week there is a new release, I will break down the units and give you a quick information about it. Um, because this is kind of the first episode of this, I want to explain more how this works, and yeah, also I do think that this week's breakdown isn't like too amazing, but just wait on that before I want to explain myself. Yeah. So how will this work? So every week when there is the new release, I will talk about the units, and want to keep them as short as possible. So I will give you a quick and loaded information on the unit, how you can use it, what are strengths, what are negative aspects on them. I want to give you like alternatives in a not longer than 10-minute video. Today's video will be a bit longer because it is the first one and I want to explain stuff. And yeah, first thing I want to show you is the tier list explanation, which is this one. I want to go over that a little bit later, but this is always the first thing that you can see how I understand the tier list. I won't make any tier list in the future because I think there are a lot of very good tier lists already in uh, the internet or on other content creators. So if you don't specially ask for it, I won't do a tier list, but I still will rank them, the units on my tier list every week. And you have to keep in mind that this will be like for the special week. Of course, I want to say like how the direction of the unit in which tier list it will go more likely, but for the release, I will place them in a tier, and yeah, that's it. Like where you can orientate. Yeah. Next thing is I want to go over the unit, give you the quick information, and after that, I give you like pocket picks, and yeah, like that's it. So let's just hop into my tier list explanation real quick. Yeah, first thing is the Z tier. So these are like the best units in the game. Most powerful units in the game. Mostly self-sufficient, provide something to the team nobody other can do. So for explanation, if they just have one of these things, they are very likely to be put in the Z tier. Next thing, very strong units. They can be self-sufficient, but sometimes depend on others to get their full strength. Yeah, that's the S tier units. Decent units are for the A tier units. They can be strong, but they are bound to at least one or multiple conditions. They can provide a good ability, but lack in another. Yeah, I think a little bit to give you a better understanding of a tier unit, for example, would be the Titan Aaron, the SSL one. He is bound on the transformation to be very strong, but if he is transformed in his Titan form, he's like super good for the game. Yeah, and that's like how I understand my own tier list. The unit needs something to be super strong, and yeah, a Z tier unit is of course Lostvayne Meliodas because he doesn't rely on any other unit. He he just starts the game and he will destroy everything. Also, overall, his complete kit is something that he doesn't provide it to the team, but it is something that nobody other can do. Yeah. So B tier, these are good or okay units. They have somehow good abilities, but they lack in stats or multiple conditions to reach a good power creep. C tier units, these are bad units. They have partly good abilities, but they can't really make use of them. Then we have the D tier. These are unusable units with awful abilities. So yeah, the tier list explanation, as I already mentioned, I will show them every week on every video, so you don't have to screenshot them if you want to. But yeah, so let's go over the unit breakdown for this week. So as I already mentioned, this week's unit breakdown will be very short because there isn't really much to talk about because I think most of these things are obvious. So I don't want to talk about things that are like obvious that are commonly known to the majority of the players. But this week I think it is pretty hot because Lostvayne Meliodas is a unit that everybody was waiting for. So everybody already knew what he does and how good he is because he was like so dominant in the Japanese version. But still though, because this is the first unit breakdown and to give you a an idea to how this will go into the future, I want to talk about him like I would do for like a other unit. Yeah, Lostvayne Meliodas, I will put him in the Z tier. Yeah, everything about this unit is pretty easy to understand. Like I think he's not hard to use, and he is the most broken character in the game. His ultimate is like, if you know Yu-Gi-Oh, is like the Exodia in Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, because if you don't know, if you have like all pieces of the Exodia puzzles, you win the game in Yu-Gi-Oh. And I also do think if you have Lostvayne's ultimate, you also win the game. Besides that, his damage output is still insane. So he doesn't really rely on the ultimate. You still can win without it because because his base stats are so high and he is doing quite a lot of damage even without his ultimate. Yeah, it's easy to say that he is and he will be the best unit in the game for quite some time. Because of his zero crit resistance, his passive does trigger very fast. So, he is very self sufficient and doesn't rely on any support. Another thing which makes his usage very versatile is that he is a unit that you can literally sorry, literally can splash into any team. Yeah, because I do think none of his cards are dead. Splashing this unit in team means that you can still build your combo, let's say penetration, and yeah, you just transition him into the team for example, Blue Demon Meliodas. Yeah, so you still have the penetration team, but he's like in the team. Yeah, that's it for Lostvayne Meliodas this week. Next is Fraudrin. He is the second new release of this week. Yeah, I think also Fraudrin is I would say B tier unit, maybe C tier, but for now I would give him more the B tier. But if you build him out, I think for now he is a Z tier character. But just for now, keep that in mind. In the future, if he is built out, I think he will go more for the S or even the A tier. So he won't stay too long in this tier, even if you build him out. But I think it's pretty obvious that nobody really will build him out because you have to be like the waliest person on earth to do that. So yeah, just quick and he hasn't really anything surprising besides the fact that he is the biggest whale character in the game. You can't really make use of him is he if he isn't fully maxed out because you have to have a higher CC than any other character in the game to utilize his passive. But if you can make use of his passive, he is super broken. But yeah, as I already mentioned, there is this big pay to win wall, which would make him to one of the best units in the game. But yeah, besides that, I do think that his abilities aren't too amazing. He also doesn't have like really outstanding other things to mention. But yeah, if you want to build them out, you have to buy all these cosmetics. Nothing really that I would do. So yeah, of course this week because this week is so obvious, it is hard for me to give you a good unit breakdown. So I use the opportunity to explain how I thought this will go. But the last thing that I want to talk about is like the pocket picks alternatives that I want to give. So this is also something that I will do pretty fast in the future. So yeah, but this week, unfortunately, there is no real pocket pick. So yeah, my friends or like my knighthood already knows that I give them alternative units besides the releases, especially when the new units are very meta changing. I give them like a other way to play PvP, even no without summoning for the new unit. But this week I do think Lostvayne is like too impactful for the game, so that's why the only thing I could give you would be the penetration team with the blue demon Meliodas. But also you have to be careful on that. You have to nearly one shot Lostvayne in the first turn, or it will be pretty hard because his cards will rank up all the way up to 3 because it is like nearly guaranteed to crit if you use Blue Demon Meliodas. Yeah, try to one shot this guy if you want to use penetration. If you don't want to lose Lostvayne Meliodas. So another tip that I want to give you, referring to Lostvayne Meliodas, is try to utilize him yourself. So as I said in my unit breakdown that he is pretty easy to use, but I think if you go for the mirror match, which will be the majority of the time, so in the majority of the games, or like in 90% of the games, you will meet a Lostvayne Meliodas as your enemy character. And I think when it comes to that, it is a lot about the management of your ultimate, because if you have your Exodia, which is your secret technique ultimate, you will win the game. But if the enemy can manage to get it earlier than you without dying, then you will lose the game. So yeah, it is a little bit of these mind games. Also, of course, because it is a card game, it depends a lot on RNG. But yeah, in general, I think yeah he is easy to use. But in the mirror match, I think it it needs a little bit more management, a little bit more skill, if you can say so. Also RNG if you want to utilize them. But yeah, the point that I wanted to come is that you have to try the unit out yourself with your most fun composition. Don't do the standard old rush team because you will get tired of it pretty fast. Even though it is the strongest composition of the game, mm, and you will learn to utilize it very fast. But if you don't want to get like bored of the game, this is like the only tip that I would give. And you still can stay competitive. You still can stay in champion or challenger or even top 100 if you're like um, just stick with your team, or still if you still try something out. But if you try something out, you will learn faster, you will learn more, and you learn to utilize more characters and more combinations to get through it. Yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the new format unit breakdown. I think in the future it will be a bit more interesting, or it will definitely be more interesting because there won't be like these obvious releases. So I can't tell, no, I can tell you a lot more, or a lot more things that you can make use of. So yeah, hope you guys still enjoyed the video for today. Subscribe to my channel, leave a like down below, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, and I see you guys next time.